Are your friends going to be around when something big happens in your life? Let's say you go through a breakup. If you have a death in the family, do you think they'll be able to support you when you really need them the most? You may have friends that you might think are going to be there through thick and thin, but when it comes to the inevitable downs of life, support is necessary to help you maintain your own mental and emotional health. I don't think there's anything in the world that's worse than facing a tragedy with people that you think are going to be there for you, only to find out that they cannot support you. This is why I started a monthly series about our social circles. In these monthly series, we will discuss some of life's challenges. We will examine the help and support we might need to get through these particular challenges. We're all going to have to face them in some way, shape, or form, so let's be ready. This month, we're going to be talking about breakup and loss. Friendship breakups to divorces to bereavement. We're going to have a discussion about support that we need in those situations. If you don't know what you need, this is the event for you. You don't have to suffer alone. You don't have to figure it out alone. There are people who are willing to share their stories. In this series, we will have an interview with someone who's had their personal experience. We'll have a panel discussion. We'll also have a breakout session so that you can talk to people about your own experiences. And finally, we'll have a keynote speaker with powerful insight and actionable steps, because we never ever want to highlight a problem and not come with a solution. So join me on Saturday, April 22nd at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. It's a free event. All you need to do is register. Go to the link in the show notes to get your free tickets right now. Again, it's April 22nd at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. I'll see you there. Hey, what's going on? My name's Coach Lee Hopkins. My pronouns are he, him, his, and you're listening to the Patterns of Possibility podcast. This is a podcast dedicated to helping you replace harmful patterns with new possibilities. In each episode, we'll explore topics that inspire you to be yourself, live your truth, and make lasting connections. In this episode, we're going to talk about socializing as a skill. Now, a lot of us out here may feel some kind of shame because we don't have the close connections that we want. We may look at other people and think they don't know how to talk to people. Well, they need to learn. And the same goes with you. So I want to present to you this idea that socializing is a skill. And with patience and practice, you'll make authentic connections. In this episode, we're going to talk about the 3 most important things that you need to do, or the skills that you need to learn in order to make those powerful connections. Are you ready? Let's go. So the definition for socialization is the process of learning and being trained on the norms, values, behaviors, and skills that are appropriate to a society or group. So I believe that socializing is something that we do learn. Obviously, by the definition, it's learning and being trained on the norms and values. So when I think of socializing, I really think about how I speak English and you're listening into English. And someone has taught me how to speak English just as they've taught you. And all the people around you speak English, so then you also speak it. And you also speak the way they speak it, for the most part, right? You have an agreement that the words that you speak, the vibrations that come out at that pitch, mean something. You both agree that they mean something, and you can conjure up in your imagination what those words mean. If I said red, you could conjure up what red looks like. If I said soft, you can conjure up what soft might feel like. Hard, angry, you can conjure up an idea of what those mean. And so when we socialize, we do the same thing. I think whatever it is that you have learned that is appropriate in your space growing up, you take that out in the world and you hope that you connect with people that do the same things that you do. That's socializing. Whatever you do, whatever actions and behaviors that you have mean the same thing to you as they do to them. So let's say if you raise your eyebrow, it means curiosity for you. And you go around and you raise your eyebrow to people, and it means curiosity to them too. And you feel connected, socialized. It's normal. It's appropriate for that situation. So when we socialize with people, we obviously aren't the same, right? I didn't grow up in the same household as you did. I didn't grow up with the same ideas and norms that you did. Things were different in my house. We talked a different way. We ate differently. We spoke differently. We did all kinds of things that were different. And when we go out and we talk to other people who may not have the same kind of understanding about my social norms or how I was socialized, we get into a bit of a tiff or a little bit of a misunderstanding. A misunderstanding. I don't want to say disagreement, but that could be it too. My eyebrow raise is curiosity to me, but if I did it to somebody else, it means condemnation for some reason, because they were raised that way. They were socialized that way, right? When you connect with other people that you want to socialize with, if you want to socialize with other people, the first thing that you have to recognize is that you have different agreements for actions and behaviors. How you may believe that you are impacting someone, or the message that you want to relay to someone is not going to impact them the same way, the way that you want. There's a likelihood that my eyebrow raise is going to be offensive to somebody. Just how it is, because that's how they were socialized, right? That the whole world is built on people with different pockets of socialization coming together and having conversation. This is what we're trying to do with each other. We're trying to get to know each other. You want to go out, you want to meet new people who have been raised differently, who have been socialized a bit differently. And you have to recognize, rule number one is that you are going to interact with people who you are going to impact in a way that you didn't desire. You smiled at them, and all of a sudden, they think you don't like them because there's something else going on with them. But it's important to note that there's a communication thing, there's a socialization piece to look at. If you're trying to convey your message of kindness and caring to them, there is a different route. And only they know that route. They know what it is. So connecting with them is going to help you understand that a little more. And that's more advanced. If you want to hear more about that, we can talk about that. Just let me know. Write me at patternsofpossibility@gmail.com. Because I think I'm going to go off script if I do that. I'm going to go in a different direction if I talk about how to connect with people who don't understand what you're trying to tell them. How do you want to connect with them? What can you do in those cases? But this episode is about the socialization piece and what I think are the three most important skills to know so you can make close connections and stronger social circles. So I want to go over those. I want to stay with those. But the idea of socialization is still that you want to share your thoughts, ideas with somebody in a manner in which they can understand. That's my definition. I like that definition. So the first thing that you want to do, the three most important skills, is discover your likes, wants, needs, fears, dislikes, and non-negotiables. So it's really important to know more about who you are and what you want. And the reason why this is number one is because if you say something to somebody all cheery and happy, trying to uplift their spirits, and they get upset, There's a disconnect. And if you feel angry or upset because they have gotten upset with you, there's something there to check about yourself. How well do you know yourself? What are you going to do in that situation? It's all about you and your actions and your behaviors, your needs, wants, likes, dislikes. If you have the option to hang out with them, if you have the option to create a personal connection with this person, if it's not something that's happening at a professional level at work, then how are you going to behave with them? Are you not going to ever talk to them again? Will you try and talk to them again? What are your needs, wants, fears, desires, likes, dislikes? What do you know about yourself when you come up into situations like that? It's important to know that, because if you're not paying attention, you're going to react. You're going to get mad and you're going to say stuff and you're going to do stuff that you didn't mean, quote, under quote, whatever, didn't mean, because you weren't paying attention to how you feel and what your needs are, right? So that's number one. You really need to know, if you're going to socialize with somebody, you can't fly off the handle. You can. Go ahead and fly off the handle. But notice the impact. Notice how angry and frustrated you got with them and the impact that you've had on that person. Was that what you really wanted before you even came to the situation? Is that what you wanted? Is that what you want to continue to do to other people? Recognize what it is that's pulling that trigger. Because you will run into people who misread, who don't understand. And if you get angry at them for misreading and not understanding, then it's going to be difficult for you to socialize. That is, it's going to be difficult for you to get the message, your desired message, across. Because all you're going to communicate to people is that you're an angry person who can't control their feelings. If that's what you want to communicate, go ahead, do that. But if you don't, explore why you are so upset. All right, the second one. Learn how to communicate your ideas clearly. For me, I wanted to tell people how I felt, but I found many times that I was just not able to. I would say something like, I don't know. I can't really explain it. Do you know what I'm saying? I would tell like part stories and kind of sort of, and right. And then they did this thing and they did that thing. You know what I'm saying? Part stories, and let everybody else fill in the blanks. But they are not me. They don't know what the event was. They don't know how I'm feeling about the event. They don't know what happened. And so the impact that I have on the person that I'm telling my story to would be confusion. They'd be confused. I want them to be excited. I want them to be sad. I want them to be frustrated with me about my experience. I want them to know about my experience so they can perhaps give me some advice or insight. But no, I had a lack of clarity about how to communicate my ideas. I was not clear at all. So because I wasn't clear, they didn't get any of what I wanted to share with them. They didn't get that. They just ended up being confused. I don't know what the heck Lee's talking about, but okay. I'll just nod my head and smile. That's what I'm going to do. And people have done that because I didn't know how to communicate my ideas clearly. And if you don't know what you're feeling, you're going to have an even more difficult time. If you don't know what you're feeling in order to form the ideas, to communicate them clearly, you're going to have an even more difficult time. So number 2 is learn to communicate your ideas clearly. Number 3 is one of the most important things. It's rejection. It's learning how to deal with rejection, period. Not everyone is going to like you, and you may have heard that. You have to learn to treat it as information about their preferences rather than a personal attack on your character. So let's say you got it right. You communicated with them, you socialized, and the words that you said impacted them in the way that you desired. They understood you very clearly, and they're still giving off a vibe that they don't like you. Okay, great. This is useful information. It's not a personal attack on your character. It's useful information about their preferences and what they prefer, and it's just not you. Great, because you don't want to be around anybody who doesn't prefer you either, unless maybe that's the thing that you want. You want to chase. But I prefer not to be around people who don't want my company. I want people who actively choose me. Actively choose me. And this is important when you socialize because you want to pick up on that. You're going to pick up on the fact that they don't vibe with you. The way they move doesn't fit. Same way, same thing. If you don't move in the way they want, they don't fit with you. Discover your likes, needs, wants, fears, dislikes, everything in step 1. You have to know that so that you can be comfortable with this rejection piece. But, I often talk about rejection as this way, as being the one who is rejected. But in socialization, it's also important for you to be the one to reject. You are not going to like everyone. You're not. You're not for everyone. And there are some people that are going to be attracted to you, interested in you, that aren't for you. And it's okay. Be secure and letting them know that you're not a good fit. You have to be able to socialize, be able to share your impact, how you've been impacted by them. Be able to share that with them. And they have a responsibility of their own to learn from the rejection. You can provide that opportunity for them. This is how I think about rejection. Provide the opportunity for them to find someone who is really interested and cares about them, rather than trying to hang on to me, a person who is not really interested, does not choose them authentically, does not want to be with them. I don't want to. And I'm not going to spend my time and energy pretending that I do. It doesn't feel good for either one of us. So I want to leave you with this. Those 3 important skills are: 1, discover your likes, wants, needs, fears. Discover as much about yourself as possible, basically. Number 2, learn how to communicate your ideas clearly. You want to be able to say what you feel, what you're experiencing, so that other people can understand them. And 3, learn how to deal with rejection. People are going to move you in their circle, they're going to move you out of their circle, and you will do just the same with the people around you. You have the ability and the option, you have the power to do that. Don't keep people around just because. Don't stay around just because. All right? Rejection is important. And most of all, what I want to leave you with is the idea that socializing is a real skill. You're going to learn it the more you interact with other people and the more you try to connect. The more you try these 3 things, you're going to see your social circles change. They're going to grow. You're going to adapt to the situations. I'll be right back with the Reddit friendship advice question. Are you tired of having boring conversations about nothing that lead to nowhere, that just feel like a waste of your time? Do you want to have deeper, more authentic connections with people in your life? Then skip the small talk and speak from the heart. My name's Coach Lee, and I'm an expert in helping people build stronger, more fulfilling social connections, both personally and professionally. If you're tired of having these boring conversations, then come to my free webinar to learn exactly how to skip the small talk and speak from the heart. Because we had such an overwhelmingly positive response to the webinars for March, I'm going to do it again this month in April. I'll be hosting these webinars twice a week, once on Wednesdays and once on Saturdays. To reserve your seat, click the link in the show notes and select the time that works best for you. Space is limited to just 10 people, so reserve your seats sooner rather than later. I'll see you there. All right, now it's time for the Reddit friendship advice question. If you have a friendship advice question that you think I should answer, tag me in it on Reddit. My handle is Brilliant and Resilient. That's Brilliant, the letter N, Resilient. How to end a friendship with a kind person that you just don't have anything in common with. I'm a 30-year-old female who is tired of being friends with a 35-year-old female. We've been friends for 5 years. She's a genuinely good and well-meaning person, but I've come to realize I don't have anything in common with her. She's way more invested in the friendship than I am, and generally draining to be around. I've tried gradually distancing myself, which didn't work. Then I finally told her that I need some space, which she respected and backed off from me for about a month. But now she wants to know if she did anything to upset me. And I have no idea what to tell her without really hurting her feelings, because she didn't do anything. I know I'm the a-hole in this situation, but I can't help dreading our hangouts. We don't mesh or click the way she seems to think we do. So, yeah, thank you so much, Redditor, for writing this. This is exactly what I was talking about when it comes to rejection and understanding that there are some people that don't click or mesh well with you in your words, and that it's completely okay for you to let them go. I think what's happening here is that we talk about socialization. You want to be able to make sure that they're not being hurt because they're not doing anything. I quotes, my air quotes, doing anything. They are doing something, and it's getting on your goddamn nerves. It is. It's true. It's happening. It's getting on your nerves. There are behaviors and actions that maybe you aren't aware of, that you can't pinpoint right away, or you cannot speak into reality to them so that they can understand, but they're doing something and it doesn't feel good to you. And you dread being around them. That's enough. That's enough. They don't know what it is that they're doing. It would be really great if you were able to pinpoint and isolate exactly what it is that you want so that you can communicate it clearly so that this rejection could be a lot smoother. Because once you know what you want, once you know clearly what it is that you want and expect from a friendship, what you want to talk about, then you can communicate it clearly. These are some actions and behaviors that I've noticed. Like, I want to hang out with somebody who is interested in Bridgerton and who watches it and who enjoys the scenery, the storyline. They enjoy the Victorian times. I want to talk to somebody who does that, who likes those kind of things. And you, I'm going to call you Pam, the person who's 35 years old and who is going to be rejected. Pam, I don't want to hang out with somebody who doesn't like those things. This is a non-negotiable for me. I'm not sorry, but every time we hang out, I dread talking about the old 80s TV shows that you enjoy. And she's the Pam would be 35, so I don't know if she enjoys 80s TV shows. But the point is that there is something specific that you want, and she is not able to provide to you. She's not doing it, right? So it's grounds for moving her out of your circle. It is grounds for moving her out of your circle. So what's happening, so it seems like what you're looking for is the language to be able to end the friendship with them, or end the connection, or at least change it in some way. So if you're working together, then it didn't say in here that you were working together, but if you were working with each other, then it would be a professional relationship, and here are the guidelines and rules and not rules, but here are my boundaries. Here is how I would like us to interact, and the expectations that you put out there. So it seems like you're looking for the language to provide that to them, because you already feel like an asshole. It says, I know I'm the asshole, I'm the a-hole in this situation, but I can't help dreading our hangouts. Of course, they suck. You want to talk about Bridgerton. You want to talk about something that's important and interesting to you, and you're not able to do that. And because you're not able to do that, you dread hanging out with this person because it's like pulling teeth. Ouch, it hurts. I don't want to be here for this. I don't care about what you're talking about. I want you to care about what I'm talking about. I want you to care about the things that are important to me. And she doesn't do that. Just from the example. So Pam has got to go. How are you going to tell Pam? This is the question that I believe that you're asking, and I keep skirting by it because I want to share more information to set it up. How are we going to tell Pam that you don't want to hang out? Well, let's read the comments here. Someone says, it seems this person cares about how you feel. Respecting the other person and genuinely caring about someone is a requirement of being friends. You get older in life and find out having things in common matters less than just being friends with good people and spending time with them. And that was the number one upvoted comment. I just want to throw the whole internet away. Throw it away. It's garbage. That's trash. I don't post much here in friendship advice anymore because I get flamed. Okay. People don't like what I have to say, but I disagree with that wholeheartedly. Respecting the other person and genuinely caring about someone is a requirement of being friends. Great. Understand that. The older you get in life, you find out having things in common matters less than just being friends with good people and spending time with them. See, these words I do not agree with. I don't agree with these words. I mean, whatever they're saying, good people, spend some time with, those things, we need to be specific about those things. What makes a good person? What is spending time with people? Because we spend time with people all the time. We do things in their presence all of the time. I need some specifics about how to spend time with them and how I feel about spending time with them. Because the poster, whoever posted this, said that they dread spending time with this person. That's not good. Good people, well, the person, Pam, genuinely, it seems like Pam, the 35-year-old, genuinely cares about the poster, but the poster hates it. She didn't say hate, but she said she doesn't feel good about it. She dreads it. That's a friendship? That's what most people think is a friendship. That's what most people think is a connection. Throw that away. That's garbage. That's gone. There's something here that's happening between Pam and the poster that is unsaid. The poster is miserable, and Pam is just clinging on for dear life. Pam needs to be let go so that she can discover people who are interested in her. Pick up on this energy as where this 30-year-old is just not interested. Probably not interested in the same things. Pam is just probably may not be aware of that. And so what can we do? What can we do? Okay, one more comment. I can 100% agree, this person says. Me and my friends don't have that much in common, but we got each other's back covered and I can trust them blindly. That's much more important than these people who are out there because they're going to stick with you throughout the years. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't want to believe that I can't like my friends. Like, I believe that I should have something in common with them. I believe that I need to be able to talk to them about the things that I'm going through, to be able to trust them with that. If when I think about them, I want to feel joy. I want to feel happiness. I want to feel inspired with them. I don't want to dread them, and I don't want to use them as emergency services. Do you get my drift? You get my drift? It all starts when you communicate to them your thoughts and your feelings and watch how they respond with your thoughts and your feelings. So finally, I'm going to get to this answer. What are we going to do about Pam? Well, I'm going to tell you, poster, if you're listening, the first thing that you want to do is discover what it is that you want. What do you want Pam to do? How do you want people to behave around you? What is it about her that is lacking? Is it the Bridgerton thing? Is it something else? There's a need that you want from your friendship. There's something that you want to talk about. There's something that you want to share that you're unable to share with Pam. For whatever reason, it just doesn't come up. Maybe she talks too much. Maybe she only talks about one thing. Maybe you don't know what it is that you want to talk about. But you know the feeling of your connection is bleh. You know it's dull and dry and uninteresting. You're uninspired every time you think. Not even uninspired. You're annoyed and you're repelled by trying to hang out with her. Don't do that. We're going to stop doing that. I want you to discover what it is that you want from Pam. And with this information, you want to be able to tell her that. Hey, Pam, I don't want to hang out with you because I want these needs met and you're not meeting them. And then from there, you want to make sure it's clear and concise. Of course, clear and concise. You want to be clear about what it is that you want to share with her. A conversation needs to be had. And then do the rejection thing. You're not sorry. Don't say you're sorry. Please. Say that you understand that it hurts to be rejected. I understand that you want to connect with me or you want to talk to me, but this isn't what I want. And there are two people in this conversation. There's two people in this connection. They're going to have to figure out what else they can do. Pam will figure it out. Because this happened to me. Somebody rejected me straight up to my face. They were just like, I don't want you. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to be associated with you at all, period. And I lived. I'm okay. I'm fine. In fact, I learned the lesson is that I don't want to be around people who don't want to be around me. Right? Pam hasn't quite picked up that lesson yet. And you get to provide an opportunity for her to learn that lesson. This is how I think about it. And I hope that you'll think about this too. You're not hurting them. You're helping them along their journey to find people who actually want to be connected to them. Pam deserves that. Pam deserves that. But thinking about you, you also deserve that. You also deserve that. So don't forget that. If Pam is like, no, don't ever leave me. You must set strong boundaries. And boundaries aren't rules or steps or things that you need to impose upon other people. They're not rules upon other people. These are actions and behaviors that you will do. You would say, if you call me, I'm not going to answer. If you text me, I'm not going to answer. I will block you on social media. Those are things that you will do, speaking from the I statement. I will do these things. I will do these things. I want to be away from you. It sounds harsh, right? But if you protect your peace, you are going to feel better, and they will eventually grow and they'll learn. Redditor, thank you so much for asking your question. I know that you didn't ask me to answer it, but I did, and I hope that it helps. Best of luck to you. Take care. My name is Coach Lee Hopkins, and you have been listening to the Patterns of Possibility podcast. You can find me at patternsofpossibility.com and on all social media at Patterns of Possibility. And as always, I want to encourage you to be yourself, live your truth, and there you'll make lasting friendships.